Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. So glad to have you with us end of the summer. Welcome to our August product update webinar with clients. I can't believe we're almost already done with the summer. School starting next week here in Montreal. Surprisingly, clients been super active in the last few months in the sense we released a couple of cool things. So it hasn't really slowed down, but yeah, exciting today. I'm Rosalie. I'm part of the customer success team here at Client. And as always, we have our CEO, Yannick, fully recharged after your bunch of vacations.
Yeah, and I'm very excited to be here because once again we have an incredible pace of innovation this month, and not only on our feature, but how we wrap the feature, how we document the feature, but also all in the goal of onboarding you better. So stay tuned until the end. We have nice, cool stuff to show in terms of onboarding you better.
And as you may have noticed from this slide, Natalie is on vacation this week. So we have our amazing colleague, Alex, that will be manning the chat today. Happy to have you with us today, Alex. He knows client inside out, works closely with Natalie. You would have spoken with him as well because he's everywhere, wears many hats. So he'll be there with us today. Before we get going, let me just pull the first webinar. Yeah, there you go. So is this your first client webinar? We're always curious to know who joins those webinars that we end up doing every month. So please take a second to answer that. And while you do, just reminder, use the chat or the Q&A if you have any questions. And please let us know in the chat, even if it's not a question, like, I love this, I hate this, we want to know. That helps us keep going as well. There's a lot to demo today, Yannick, as well. So I'm sure that will be good encouragement to keep pushing through it. Perfect. And it looks like, oh, we have a bunch of recruiters that are just like joining even during the summer. So thank you guys and hello to people joining for the first time today. All right, let's have a look for our agenda today. So we'll talk about what's new on version 51.11 and 10, which has a few things. Then we'll talk about what's coming next, or roadmap ideas that are in development. And then we have quite a little chunk on customer community update, which includes e-learning, self-registration, new documentation, a bunch of cool things. So,
Screenshots. Screenshots.
a lot. Let's move on to, yeah. So here, as always, we just do a recap onto screen. This is everything we'll cover today. It's a lot, but we will manage. So it touches all interfaces, as you can see. So let's just dive in with the first one. Again, if you have questions, just drop them in the chat. We'll try to address them as we go.
Yeah, there's a lot of feature, but I'll still try to keep a normal pace. And
Not
so
talk
yes,
too fast.
please don't hesitate to ask question and also redirect us if you want some of those features to be bonified. Let us know. This is a great tribune for you guys as well. First thing we want to start with is our timesheet. So you know that we've revamped the timesheet. It looks a lot better, a lot more slick. All the important information is showing better. But in the past, it was easy to group by task. So you could group by your project, your timesheet by task. So now what we added is group by project. So it's very easy to see how much time you spent on each one of your project. In this case, Northwind 30 hours and Acme 10 hours. So again, to have a reliable timesheet and making sure that your people filling the timesheet better, you're going to be able to do so. You can see as well that you have that collapse all or expand all that you can use. Plus, you can bundle both combined by project and by task, so you can decide what you want in that regard. So this is the first part of the My Timesheet, which is the group row by project.
If I can add as well, if you're looking at your own timesheet in your org and it looks completely different from this, you're probably in version 51.2 and before. So 51.3 is the one where you have this new look and feel. So, yeah.
And in regards of new functionality, we've added calendar a little while ago. If you're not using it, you should absolutely enable it. This is going to bring your Google Calendar, your Salesforce, Google, or Microsoft Calendar, depending on which one you're connecting to. And then you're going to easily be able to add to timesheet. Before you needed to start typing to be able to select a task. So now we just bring the full list of tasks showing. You will see we're going to unify those pick lists of tasks and project. We have a few other interface to talk about this, but moving forward, we're going to streamline and make it simpler for you to select, search, and pick the proper task and project when you're doing operations. Okay, so the small improvement on that regards. Going back
And
to the
keep
deck.
sending your feedback.
Sorry.
Keep sending your feedback on that one. I know most customers are using the calendar integration to timesheet. So yeah.
This is one we don't have a poll, I think, about this one, but I would be curious how many people use it. But we've had some requests to bonify it. So mobile timesheet is definitely something that you guys should encourage your staff to use. So again, no reason to do your timesheet. It is available if you want to teach your people on it. You can just drop the component on the page. I think it's even available out of the box as a tab. So you can just access it in here, but this is intended to be used on the mobile. So when you create a new you want to enter a new time, and now you are gonna have a new option here all week. You just click on it. It's gonna pick the current week. You're gonna still need to select your project and your task, but you're gonna be able to select and enter your time directly from here across all the different days in the week, including the weekend, if this is something set up in your org. So again, limiting the number of people that do your timesheet once a week on Friday, that's going to be simpler. But again, it's to facilitate time entry. So that whole week is going to help you out on that mobile interface also.
Yeah, and I know this was probably a request anybody using the mobile to log their time had that request. And then if that was the reason you weren't using mobile, then now you can.
There you go. Always two sides. Okay, another interface we introduced to edit and do some operation on timesheet that's been submitted. Let's say you have somebody, the use case could be, let me open up the UI first, so mass timesheet operation. So let's say my team, Roxanne and Jenny told me that they work on Monday or Tuesday on one of their project, and definitely they need to credit some hours. And their timesheet might have been submitted, they might have been even approved. So this UI, this is the intent of this UI to be able to make modification to timesheet submitted through our interface. So first I'm going to select those two like you just saw me do it. I'm going to sort by project. They told me that it was that QuickBook thing that we should probably credit some hours. So we can see here that I have my Jenny Red and Roxanne Green on that QuickBook integration. One is billable. Yes, those two are billable. One is submitted, one saved. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select both. I'm going to edit those. This is the new feature. So now I'm gonna mark them as non-billable. So that billable field, I'm gonna apply to selected, and just like this, it changed. And to apply it to the system, I need to save it, and then it will switch those timesheet to non-billable. So again, an easiest way of modifying time. And before, to be able to do this must have been 24 clicks, maybe. So now within a few 3 or 4 clicks, you're going to be able to do some of those changes.
And just to add, like what's new in this version, because we released that one last version, the mass timesheet operation is about the billable flag that we've added.
Exactly. That billable flag here and the fact that you can edit that billable flag in here as well.
Yeah, and I just dropped this is one example of a new feature we added that we have whole set of documentation. So if you want to learn more about mass timesheet operation, it's still relatively new. Just have a look at that link I dropped in the chat. And I also see Alex dropped the link from last month's webinar where we do quite a nice demo, Yannick, as well.
Exactly. So improving that interface, and while we're talking about mass approval, we can talk about the mass timesheet approval now, which is kind of a counter interface to this one now. So if I just do timesheet approvals, it's going to get us that interface. I'm going to search for a wide range, so I have a lot of data. And what we've done, it's you've been able in the past to be able to group by project, per resource role. But now what we can do is that you can also sort And this is not a good example of that specific task, but you can now sort based on whatever columns that you want. You're going to be able to sort your, what was my range is too big. Yeah. It's like-
One more reason to use this sorting function because you have so many.
Yeah, and I don't know if you noticed, maybe I should just reload. All our functionality now are coming with those
Oh,
coaching
yeah.
cards. So this way you know that those new functionality are coming. So now you can sort this way, and all those different tasks, like I said, can be sorted as well. Sorry, my data set is bad. I prepped with another set before, but those sorting gonna help out in terms of approving times across your team and across your organization. Anything to add on that interface, Jose?
No, I think that's fine.
Okay. So the sorting has been added, and then the next one will be schedule hours. Okay, so on the same interface, give me a sec. I'm here. I didn't freeze. Just want to have a proper data set. So when you have schedule hours on your different task, you're gonna be able to see those schedule hours. Very sorry, don't know what happened with my data, but you're gonna be able to as well see those schedule hours on your different task, and you'll be able to, which is a field that we didn't have in that in that UI previously. So this way you're gonna be able to match what they worked versus what they were scheduled on. So yep, I don't know what happened. So this is where the data should be. And let's move on the next one, I guess.
We know that one works because I know you did it earlier. It's just now today, right now, it's not working.
I think it's my resource. It's
Yeah.
Roxanne. I'm not finding a Roxanne here. So yeah, I'm sorry about this.
We have two more, I think, on the time logging
Yeah.
aspect of things. Yeah.
Oh, here you go. You see schedule hours. Ben Gray has some schedule hours finally here, so you can see the different columns, and you're going to be able to approve based on those schedule hours. Whew,
And the
finally.
takeaway from this is maybe we should do more scheduling. Well, this is a demo org, but if you see that that column is quite empty, maybe you should start scheduling your resources.
Yeah, I'm gonna come to this. You're gonna see that the previous interface I've shown you, there was a lot of time entered. I'm gonna come back to it, and you're right. I should have properly scheduled my different project before.
Best practice.
And then now I have help though. This is what we're gonna come back later on. Our MCP isn't helping us tremendously.
Uh,
This is two other things that we won't be demoing. Something on Jira Time Tracker where you're gonna be able to do a pre-selection. Skips and time roll up. We have a release note associated to those. Anything specific you want to add, Rosalie?
no, just in general, just keep in mind we always add new things to Jira. If you're using any of our Jira time tracker, Jira Sync, let us know. We usually add some new things every month.
Exactly. And now this is the core of what we want to discuss today, the resource planner. And there's the first one. It's been the idea that's been the most voted. It's been a long time coming. We wanted to have it before the summer break. It came just after, but you're gonna see it's very useful. So it's a flexible work schedule. Do you want to introduce it? Or do you want me to
Yeah, I
continue?
think if you look back at all our webinar recordings, pretty much every webinar for the past year, we say that it's coming up in the roadmap.
Now it's
Um,
there.
And that was definitely the idea that had the most votes because all our customers do have multiple resources, and it's very common for a resource to have more than one work schedule. So you have your normal schedule, and then maybe you just had a kid, I don't know, or it's the summer, and then you move to 4 days a week. But then the problem is you can really just have one schedule. So either you decide to change your schedule, but then all your past data is wrong, or, I mean, you just didn't change it, and I don't know what workaround customers were doing, but it wasn't great. So now we have the solution. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, and it's something different than time off. So those are not
Yep.
vacation. It's really I'm changing for summer. I'm just working a different work schedule. So
Mhm.
now we support that model. So what I'm looking at now is the project resource Ben Gray. We can see he has a 40 hours of work schedule. This is his standard schedule of working 8 hours per day. And then we have two lines of resource schedule here. The first one, it's for the month of September and the beginning of October for 32 hours. So he's not working on Friday. And then coming back next summer with that new functionality, he's going to be able to apply all this. And you are also going to be able to apply this and for the Christmas break, but also for next summer. So he's already booked that he will be working 3 days a week, skipping Monday and Friday. So this is the setup. So this is what you need to add, the resource schedule, and this is what needs to be populated when you want to work with different work schedule for your resource. Then what happened if I open up my resource planner? A few things will show up and we can analyze the data. So we have Ben Gray. We can see that for the week of 24th of August, he is at 100% schedule for 40 hours. While the first week of September, he is over budget by 24% for the same 40 hours, which makes sense because we said we're not working on Friday. And then we can see here on September, he's coming back at 200% because yeah, 32 hours is his new normal for the month of September. This also work with the holidays, so it's all tied in, it's all together. And you can see it in different ways. So if you recall when you're scheduling, so let me schedule in October when he doesn't have any new resource schedule, his old schedule is going to come across. So when I do this, you see the standard UI in terms of scheduling for that specific resource. But if I pick up a date within that month of September, and I try to do some scheduling, you're gonna see a new portion being shown here. So this is the new resource schedule for this period. We didn't override by default this value. This is the first iteration, so we just wanted to our customer to get used to it. So if I really want to apply it, I just need to modify my real schedule here on top when I'm gonna do my scheduling. But we're representing it, and we're representing it on both time-based scheduling and standard scheduling. So when I'm scheduling this way, I have to do that modification. But if I'm scheduling it from another interface, it's gonna apply that standard number of hours of 32 hours across my week, skip my Friday for now. And next summer is going to skip my Monday and Friday.
And for that feature specifically, because so many people were asking for it, please, when 51.11 becomes available, you upgrade, have test it and let us know if you have any further improvement you'd like to see. If it saves you so much trouble now, like we want to hear it. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Another improvement that we can see from that resource planner is here under the resource name. You can see that we have the role first, but now we are able to also show other information that's controlled by a field set. And you can see that we're showing the practice and then the region, then the practice. And if I just click the I indication, I'm going to see all that information. And this is all, whoops, sorry. This is all controlled by the field set, so I can see my region, North America, practice, professional services. I have a lot of questions lately about practices and how you can filter segment about practices. So again, this is a good way of showing which resource are part of which practice. So this is controlled by a field set. Then we are starting to evolve our time-based scheduling. So we can in two fronts. So first, we can see Jenny Red here. She has some time off, so she has a partial time off. So if I'm opening up my time off record, you can see here that now we have new fields on the time off that you need to drop if you're an existing customer, start time and end time. So this way you can define from which time your time off are resulting. And if we go back to the resource planner, we're gonna start. This is the UI that we were adding functionality and improving as well. I don't know if you guys knew, but you can always switch to our view. And then you can see that, for example, it was for next tomorrow for Jenny Red. She has a 4 hours block from 1 to 5. As you can see, there's a lot of label. We're repeating the same information. We're improving this. So next release, you're going to see some improvement in regards to that UI. But this is to support more and more start and end time on scheduling and start and end time on time off. So those functionality have been added. Going back to my week view, going through those functionality, there's another one requested that sometime you want calculation based if there is holiday, if that person doesn't take her holiday. So now you can see there's a exclude time off from totals. So I can just remove it. And then this way the time off, the calculation of the time off, let me just regroup, are going to be changed based on the excluding that value or not. So you can see that my 32 hours, 100% include my time off. But if I'm removing it at 24, 75%. So depending on what you do and operate with, this is going to be useful. So it's not just hiding it, it's excluding the calculation of it.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. Before, if you just use the hide holiday PTO toggle, then that's where people would be confused because the actual total would
Yeah,
be.
you would hide it, but not calculate it. So sometimes you would can join both together.
Yeah.
This being said, yeah, um, both are useful for different scenarios. Okay, next thing, it's about skills filtering. So, and filtering in general, this is something that we know we need to improve, and that I think it's a good start that we're doing with the skills, and we're gonna keep improving it. So now I have my different resource I'm searching for. This is a customer that has that information. So now I could just filter out for resource that have specific skills as well. So let me just put everyone in the system. And then I'm going to add a few skills. So let's say I want to add my Sales Cloud skills. And it's going to ask me from which proficiency. So I want somebody that's more than 50% proficient in Salesforce Sales Cloud. And I can even bonify this and add another skill. So I can just type, let's say I want somebody that knows Service Cloud as well, more than 75. So give me some luck and reduce my expectation, 25% of Service Cloud. And then I can even apply some filtering logic. So if I want to do ors or ands in terms of my skills here, and then just applying this and going to give me in this case, my sole resource that can do it. So it's Eva. So Eva is able to do this. If I look at her skills, indeed, she has Salesforce Sales Cloud and Service Cloud. And if I want to make it a or instead of an and, you're going to be able to do it with our logic. And what now we're going to try to do is to do the same with all other fields and then have cross fields. So this and this with this, etc. So this has been a long time coming as well, but it's a bit tricky in terms of providing the proper UI, but we're getting there. And then you can see that those filters are just added on top so you can easily clear them this way. And you're always aware of what you're filtering against. Cool.
Okay. Yeah, I think that wraps it up for that. And I think skills is one of those things not all customers are using yet. But we keep adding those little like improvement to it. So I think there's more and more reason to start using it now that it's like fully supported everywhere in the product. So yeah.
Absolutely. Next,
Project.
new projects. So when you're creating a new project from our templates, now we do support that files that are attached to your templates are going to be carried over. So for example, if I'm looking at my SAS template here, if I'm looking at all my different related object, I can see that I have a file jumpstart that is something that I want to carry over, either something I'm going to send to my customer or not a checklist. Checklist, you should be using our checklist or any to-dos need to be a project and task. This being said, if you have a deck that you need to send, or if you have a specific document that you need to be carried from new temp project to new temp project, you just need to add your files here. And if it's a project template or when you're going to use a project import wizard, it's gonna sync that file also. Not sync, recreate that file also. Okay, so that was the new project page template. Next
We have
one,
a bunch now.
Kanban.
We're moving in project management, but it's all different interfaces. So we may be
Yeah.
jumping.
All small stuff across the
Yes.
board, but again, it's always about ease of use and
Yes.
making it simpler, easier for you. Kanban is something that we've been improving slightly recently. So we're adding new stuff. Again, you can see that we have those coach marks. So for your user, it should be easy to see what's new and what's coming. So it's going to make your job easier to do that training to your team. So now you can hide columns, and there's different way you can do so. You can just come in here in the toggle and you can do hide empty columns, and it's going to hide the empty columns. And you can see here on top that you have the filter again that's showing it that you have 7 empty columns that have been hidden. And you can also see that we have some eyes here. That's this way you can easily block whatever column you want to block, or not block, but hide. So this way you can just really focus on the only columns you're working with. This simplify things a lot in terms of managing your board and managing your different stages. Even when you have some, let's say you never want to see your completed, or if you're using sprints, this is going to be useful also.
I think also like in our company, for example, we have so many statuses, you don't want to be scrolling horizontally, and also some status only apply to certain teams, but like they're still all there. So really just make it easy. Customize it. And
Yeah,
then of course you should save that in your presets.
absolutely. We always see that small red asterisk saying
Yeah.
that you can still save it. The other one on the Kanban is the assignee filter.
Mhm.
The assignee filter, this is
On the right.
oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Got lost with the other one, which is the parent task. So here, the assignee filter, I can, let me switch, go to global Kanban. So those AI that works on both the project Kanban and the global Kanban, the assignee as well. So in my global, I can see that I have all my different resources that are showing here. So let's say I just want to see Roxanne Green and maybe Eva. I can just pick and show the different tasks that Eva and Roxanne are assigned on. So through that assignee pick list or that assignee filter. So that's one. And then when you're creating a new task, we have a new parent task that's going to help you select. And this one is loading, so it's filtering. I think before the filter was not applied, so the filter and the ease of use for the filtering kind of lagging now. That filtering is being applied across that parent task, so you can easily search and pick your task when creating on the Kanban.
Yay. And these, I know at
Mm.
least two of those three were like customer feedback. I remember having calls with customers mentioning this for sure. So let us know if that works well for you moving forward.
Am I lagging, Rosalie? I'm
Nope,
still no, I'm good.
all good.
My computer is a bit sluggish. Okay, next one, my deadlines.
Mm-hmm.
We like that one. So we have people are using it because they're asking functionality. So manager view, it's one it's been asked for, and also the cancel task. So we have a complete task that do specific stuff, but cancel start to do specific stuff as well. In this case, we're just not showing canceled task within that my deadline. So any completed task or canceled task will not be showing those my deadline. The purpose is to see your open task, whatever they overdue or in the future. So that's one thing. And the second thing is that if you have that setting enabled, so again, it's a custom setting. And if I'm the manager, it's another linkage that needs to happen between the user and the manager. Then I can see who I'm managing. So I can see my team, but I can see Jenny Red if I have multiple people. So I can just select, and then this is where I see Jenny's uh, task and what she has to do and what is overdue for her. So it's a really simple list if you just want to see what you have assigned to your team or what your team are working on, what's upcoming for them in the next few weeks. You can easily use it. And then when it's time to just ask her or to tell her or get that task advanced, you can just open it up. And depending if you're using Chatter, if you're using Slack, you can easily just communicate with her through that task. Unless you have our agent that's going to do some nice cleanup of your deadlines and what's overdue and what needs to be closed. You still need to do a manual pass or your resource needs to do it. So this my deadline is a good way of seeing what's left open that your resource need to close.
Yeah, and if I can add, I mean, I do encourage you, any feature you're interested in, to look at the release note if there's an upgrade consideration. But for this one, you did need to enable that functionality. Otherwise, if you go in, you won't see that. So just keep that in
Yep.
mind if you want to use it. Yeah.
Because this one, it's a control thing, and you're gonna start seeing the manager are gonna start seeing things that they didn't see before. So we just want to control that through that settings.
Yeah.
The other one will be about generating invoice. So we
We
auto-select.
did skip
Oh,
one though, the project workspace copy paste, including assignee and
oh, we
check.
did skip it.
Maybe we can just mention it, but
No, no,
it's
I'm gonna show it.
a few releases ago we added the copy pasting, and there was still a few things that were in copy pasting, and then we just added it on that release. So maybe it's worth just doing a quick demo for that one.
Yes, absolutely. So you see two things that we were not copying. So I'm selecting my task here. It's in yellow. I just do Control C on my keyboard. I'm going on this one. I do Control V. So it asks me what I want to see, paste the name or oops, or paste everything. So I'm going to paste everything. And you see that in the background, there's a blue there. So there's checklists and there were resources assigned on my planned task. So now you can see that by copying it, I have checklists and my resource is now also assigned to my task. So those are the two things that were not carried over when you were copy and pasting. So now copy and paste support that checklists and resources, which is very useful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're not using those task indicator columns, you should definitely add it to your view and save it as a preset if you're using
Yeah.
checklist, especially.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so let's move on to the next section, which will be
Generate invoice.
the generate invoice. When it's the section that I'm gonna drop for now and just talk about it. So we auto select the organization when you only have one organization when generating invoices, and we this is a mode that's a billing type that if you don't want for non-time time entries. If you don't want the details to come across on your invoices, you need to enable this. So this is something specific to have less noise on your invoices. If you have an interest, please go look at the release notes. I've been going through a lot of those release notes we have, and seriously, I'm very pleased with what the team have been building because very interesting information. It explained better how to use and why is it used for than ever before. So let us know what you think about our documentation also. Snap.
Yeah.
Yeah, Snap, there's a few things. First, I'm going on my project. We have something called now a Snap Delta. Okay, so when you have very, very big project with thousands of tasks, with hundreds of people assigned across multiple years, those projects, if you just try to run the standard snap creation, it's gonna stop at some point. So we have another mode you need to run for this, and this is the part of the other mode. And what it does, it's based on a primary snap on your project. And for now, there's only one. So the primary snap we'll just go ahead and look at changes and apply the changes instead of recapturing everything. So it's a delta mode, so we're capturing what in the past and in the future and just recreating those snap via that routine. So it's two things. So you now need to have that primary snap selected on the project and then the routine to call it, it's called by flow. You can call it by a Salesforce flow to run those delta. If you need this, if you've been using Snap and you have no problem, then you don't need this. If you've been using Snap and some of the project are taking a lot of space and deletion takes very long, then look into that functionality and enable it if you need to. This is intended for very big projects. But this is making, and this is kind of the wrapper around the Snap for not functionality, but in terms of generation of the content and data. Now we support any type of project. The next limit is very, very far. So we shouldn't have any Snap creation project issue anymore, which is a good news. Two other things that we have been doing. So in the client utilities, We do have a new remove primary snapshot from project that's going around this. I think we're going to do more about the utility interface in the next webinar, so I'm going to skip this one for now. And but we what we did is also an improvement in regards to the prepayment. So when you add a prepayment in the past on the revenue side of things on the Snap Workspace, it would double count it. Now we have a prepayment at its special line, so it's gonna generate automatically on its special line. Here you can see. Let me just switch to all time. I'm gonna see it better. So we can see here that we have a prepayment that's been made for 32,500, but it's not affecting the revenue line. In the past, it would affect that line by 32K. It's a prepayment. It's not real revenue. Yeah, so now it's been decoupled and you can see it separately in the revenue columns if you want to see your prepayments being depleted and being fulfilled as well.
Yeah, and if I can finish off for Snap Workspace, we do have a bunch of new things coming in the Snap Workspace on the 51.12. Yeah. So next webinar, we'll talk about a few more things. But yeah, pretty much
And
every review.
I'll have a better demo in the prepaid with a better depletion in terms of
Yeah,
curves and so we can go deeper in that scenario as well if you're all using prepayments.
perfect.
Okay, so I think this conclude the demo in terms of overview of the client PSA. But now we
Yeah,
want to talk about this MCP.
let's do it. It's Yannick's favorite topic is the MCP.
You can do so much with it, and if you are not, we have more and more customer now starting to use it. So I do encourage you to go ahead and do a proof of concept first if you want to, but you absolutely need to start using our MCPs. Thank you to Mentor Group and Ben. He's been a tremendous help to help us validate our procedure for Microsoft Copilot. So now our MCP can be hosted by Microsoft itself. In the past, it was Claude and mainly local. We do have something for distribution across your team. I know some of our customers have asked about this, and we can already do that. But if you want to have Microsoft hosted, our MCP now supported. And just to give you some example, and we have a question about what we should do about webinar in the future, but we want to do one about MCP. But for this demo today, when for me this morning, what it did, it's all the data you saw, even the missing data, you didn't report it, but like all the timesheet entry, all the different resourcing, the Snap prepayment, all that has been populated through the MCP and the skills. He did the upgrade consideration, the machine, we call it the machine. Skynet was taken, so it's the machine. So the machine has done the upgrade consideration to my demo org automatically. So there's a pick list to be added for the prepayment. The MCP and the skills did it. It tested. Now we came to a point that at client we are able to test our functionalities directly and even take screenshot. So it did that and it gave me a click path. So just because it's connected to client, it's connected to my business, it's connected to my project, my task, my resource. It can do a lot. So please use it. We're gonna share more success stories and different way of using it in the next webinar if you're interested in that.
Yeah. And of course, for the MCP, we do have like great documentation as well that you can have a look if you're not sure. And I get this question a lot from customer, like, where do I find info? There's a bunch. The best would be, I think, the webinar we did in July. So you can find it in previous webinars, but we also have like whole feature documentation, like what it is, how it works, how to set it up. It's all in the feature hub.
Yeah, and so if you're questioning and what would be the proper way of doing it, what's involved, what's required from our team, the entire procedure is there, so you can just go ahead and read it. Yeah, and let
Yep.
us.
Okay, we have 7 minutes left, so let's make it count. I'll go quickly through that, but as always, in case you're not aware, you can go to the community product roadmap and have a look at what's coming up. Just as a little reminder, timeline-wise, currently we're on version 51.10, which was released a few weeks ago. 51.11, which is everything we presented today, will be released next week. August 27-ish, so in about a week, which gives you plenty of time to review the webinar, the notes until then. Then 51.12 is landing end of September, and that's what the next webinar is going to be on. A few interesting things coming up. You can have the full list there. I won't go through it, but yeah, Resource Planner draft mode is something that's coming the next release, which is really exciting.
Yes, what if scenarios are coming to
Yeah.
client.
All right. And then, okay, let's move to the next one. Okay, so we have a few customer community update that we want to make. We've been doing a lot of work in the back end, especially Yannick personally also. So these are little announcements. First of all, as of now, you can self-register, self-create your own community user. So if you are a community user already, don't need it, but anyone else on your team that wants to access, they can just go to the login page, not a member, sign up, and then they have access to everything there. So do tell your team, and then it just picks up your company from your email domain. So that's how it's tying it to your account in our end.
And it comes as a standard user, not an admin, so it cannot grant or buy anything. So, but at least it's gonna get
Yeah,
access
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
that
Those are separate permissions.
knowledge.
Yeah, perfect. Then the one we want to spend maybe a little bit more minutes, and I guess we'll skip the rest. Uh, e-learning. So yeah, the e-learning, we've had those since February 2025. What we've done is a complete revamp. We've changed where they were hosted. So now all the webinars can be accessed through the community. We've revamped that tab. So worth having a look. You will see our existing 11 courses. So complete mastery section. Those are the courses we already had. So if we click on it, you can see the full courses. By the way, this is all now connected to your user. So if you did complete those courses already, your progress is already saved. If you started but didn't complete, you'll have to start again or whatever. But yeah, this is in my profile. You can see all your progress. We have a bunch of different badges. And specific to the e-learning, yeah, here you can see all your progress, which one you've done, haven't done. So this is really great. This is the model we're moving towards. Wow, Yannick, you did great. Everything is complete. If we go back to the e-learning as well, you will see we did add some new format of e-learning, so feature specific. I don't know if you can find them. Yeah. So at the bottom, if you scroll down, the feature courses, so you can see there is a bunch there that are available. The gray one are ones that are coming soon. So have a look. There's topics like, for example, revenue recognition and surveys, where maybe you don't know, like it's a new thing you want to start using, you're considering it. Have a look through that course. It's like the best way to know what it does, how it works. The Snap one as well, a very good example. I get a lot of questions from customers like, what is Snap? Or I don't know how to explain it to my team. So very good one to, again, like have a look through it. Do we want to start using it or not? So very good starting point there.
And I just want to say that exciting stuff is that now we have images and we have screenshots, something that we didn't have before in some of our new article. And now those screenshots even are being taken automatically for us. So you can see here, and that's I'm pretty proud of that specific section here. Choose the right chart so you can really see, have a proper example of all different chart. And just so you know what the power of it, all the data that you're looking at for that snap and the project under it has been created with the skills and the MCP. And then it even decided to take the screenshot with the today's line here for that graph here, but it moved the today line to see a bit of the future for the burn down because it was a better perspective. So it's crazy what you can do with AI projects and MCPs. So very excited about this. Give us some comments. Now, you've been able to put comments on our documentation for a little while. If you're logged in, please do it because now we're really on top of it. We're going to be monitoring it. We're going to be correcting all documentation. So if you want to have more information, if a documentation is missing, a screenshot, just use that comment button and tell us, and then we'll act on it, and the machine will create what's missing.
Yeah, there's a bunch more we can cover on the next webinar on that topic. Just again, have a look at our documentation. We always improve it, add screenshots. This part, I'll go quickly through it. Maybe we talk about it next time, but just know there's a lot. Yeah. What I want to do before we finish off is I just want to launch a very short poll. Again, Yannick mentioned it. We want to look at different topics or additional webinars we may want to do on different topics. So this is a very specific one. We just want to know if you know about anything about those topics. It will help us decide.
EOS, entrepreneurial operating system, is that something that you do internally? I know we have a few customers. Is that something of interest? And then the other one is documentation. We have an MCP that's helping us with all the documentation we do. So I was wondering if you guys are using any documentation and if this would be worth it to maybe have a webinar about our knowledge MCP. So that's the reason of those questions.
Yeah, I'll leave it up there. As always, also log your feature requests on our ideas exchange. The next webinar, if we just go to the slide before. All right, next webinar, September 24th, in about a month. So be sure to register, watch previous recording. After today, I will send you a follow-up email that recaps everything that we discussed and much more. And then if you have any follow-up questions on webinar, feel free to just respond to that email. I will end this poll, and I just want to make sure that we have enough time to launch the webinar feedback poll. So please just take a few seconds to answer that. And yeah, we want to know if there's any specific feature that you were really interested in today. There was so many, I couldn't do a poll, but be sure to add it in the open-ended, like I really am excited about this or that feature. I know the product team is always very interested to know of all the things that were in the release, which one was really the most exciting for customers, so we can do more of that. Yannick, did you want to add anything else?
No, and we're out of time. So thank you again for being here this month, and we're gonna have an exciting one next month as well. See you in
Perfect.
September.
All right, see you later. I will stop the recording, but keep the webinar open for those that are answering the poll.